life-saving medical advances come from scientific research, most of which happens at universities. And Trump and his administration has launched an all-out attack on scientific research and universities in general. There are three levels of attacks. One is he's canceled research grants that were already awarded by NIH and NSF. He just said, you don't get them. Second effort was fining campuses, mandating that they pay a fine and freezing their research grants when they were accused of anti-Semitism or other civil rights violations. And the third threat has been trying to coerce universities to relinquish oversight of admissions, curriculum, academic freedom, the research enterprise to the government. See regulation to the government. How are we fighting back? So canceling research grants, focusing on NIH. Trump tried to cancel about 1,800 NIH grants. That's about $8 million. In the first 6 months of his administration. But following lawsuits and the outspoken opposition of brave individuals in universities, most of those grants have been restored. This is true. So this is really good news that lawsuits are numerous and they're having lots of successes. So lawsuits, they're great. Another threat is fining campuses and freezing research funding for campuses accused of anti-Semitism and other civil rights violations. For example, in August, UCLA was fined $1.2 billion, that's billion with a B, and told that their 500 NIH grants and 300 NSF grants were frozen. But faculty, students, unions, stood up on their hind legs and they filed a lawsuit. And this federal judge, Rita Lynn, sided with UCLA and ordered the administration to restore almost all of that funding. The funding not restored was that dealt with diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay, so everyone avoids those words. And now most of the funding has been unfrozen, although the payouts are not necessarily coming through fast. Then the third threat is trying to coerce universities to relinquish oversight of admissions, curriculum, scientific research, and academic freedom to the government. And they're doing this by offering them compacts in quotes, in which they would get preferential treatment, preferential consideration for federal funding if they sign on to relinquish to the government control. Initially, the compact was offered to 9 universities. That was on October 1. On October 10th, MIT said no. On October 15th, Brown rejected it. On October 16th, Penn and USC rejected it. At this date, 7 of the 9 universities have said no, and 2 are still considering it. Now, it turns out that on a Truth Social post, Trump said all universities are now invited to participate in this compact. Okay? So now the big push is to make sure that university administrations have the backbone and have the backing of their faculty and students to resist